This episode of Earn Your Happy is sponsored in part by Shopify, OpenPhone, and Northwest Registered Agent. Turn your big business idea into cha-ching with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/happy. See why over 60,000 businesses trust OpenPhone. OpenPhone is offering my listeners 20% off of your first 6 months at openphone.com/earn. Don't wait. Protect your privacy, build your brand, and set up your business in just 10 clicks in 10 minutes. Visit northwestregisteredagent.com/earn. They are at about 950,000 followers. They just got a book deal that they said pays for their entire home. And they had such a small following. They had nothing else going on for them as far as like an audience or understanding any of this world yet. They took that massive risk and they worked overtime on figuring it out.
And we're back.
Another episode of He Said, She Said.
Babe, before we get started, we have just a couple spots left for people to come to our home at the end of June, sitting right here at the table we're sitting at and recording a podcast that'll drop as shared episodes on both of our platforms, masterminding and brainstorming for 2 days, grabbing a dinner together, like just a bunch of big dreamers who are already taking action in our home out here in Newport Beach.
And you guys, it is coming up, and California this time of year is literally popping off. I'm just telling you. Like, it is the most beautiful spot to come to, I think, in all of the US at this time of year. If you love just sunshine and the beach and masterminding with people who light up your brain with business ideas and really showing you what's possible, you could change your life in a single weekend by changing the way that you think and who you're around and the way that you look at things.
Yeah. So in 2 days' time, if you want to do really strategic masterminding for 2 days in our home with us and some really cool other people, and then grab some great meals and be on our podcast in our podcast studio that is in our home here, and have a one-on-one strategy session with me, the very same one-on-one strategy session that you get when you're an elite mastermind member, which, by the way, costs you $50,000 to be an elite mastermind, and have follow-up calls. We can kind of stay bonded as a group. This 48 hours will change your life. Think of that exposure.
Okay, so you and I have done this a few times where we've opened up our home throughout the years.
Yep.
And we have a full circle moment where we just had a guest speaker on our mentor collective mastermind speaking. And they were one of the couples who had a few thousand followers at the time that they came to our house.
Yep.
And they came to our house for a couple days. It was like a deep dive,
Yep.
just like VIP type of day, exactly what we're doing. And they just came on to speak as guest speakers because they are at about 950,000 followers. They'll hit 1 million in the next month for sure.
And that's just Instagram. They have way more on TikTok and everything else.
Yes, and they are crushing it. They just got a book deal that they said pays for their entire home.
Their brand new home that they just built.
We are just in that moment of awe. And by the way, on that call, they said that it was the beginnings of our programs and coming to our house, and that we were their business coaches that helped them make that happen.
Yeah, their words, not ours. Super humbled by that.
So humbled by that, but I'm just sharing that they took that massive risk, which they did not necessarily, like, it wasn't something that felt comfortable to them at all. And they had such a small following. They had nothing else going on for them as far as like an audience or understanding any of this world yet. And they came and they committed.
Yep. So it's 2 days in the very end of June, plus being on our podcast, plus a one-on-one strategy session with me, plus follow-up calls after that. The best investment you could ever make, but there's only a couple spots left because we're keeping it super small and intimate. So with that being said, right now, rush over to chrisharder.me/weekend because we're calling it the ultimate VIP weekend. Go to chrisharder.me/weekend. That's chrisharder.me/weekend, or slide right into our DMs, but I would do it quickly because there's only a couple spots, and ask us questions about it. We're more than happy to voice note back and forth or jump on the phone or whatever it takes to make sure it's a perfect fit. But you snooze, you lose, because this is at the end of June and there's only a couple spots. So again, chrisharder.me/weekend. Okay. Now, speaking of proximity and speaking of like breakthrough moments when you're around people that think bigger, I had a really cool experience with one of our elite mastermind members. I had sent him a podcast to listen to. And it was about this kid who's still in high school that created an app where you just take a picture of your food and it uploads the calories and tracks your macros for you. And this kid, his app is crushing it using AI to read the pictures and track your macros and all that. And so I sent it to one of the guys in Elite Mastermind that has a really cool diabetes program. And I'm like, hey, this type of technology is out there for you to use for your individuals. And he sent me the following text back. And I want to read it to you because it was one of those moments where he was changed forever. Here's a text I got back. It said, whoa, this podcast is making me realize that I'm not thinking nearly big enough. And I feel like I'm leaving a ton of possibility on the table with what I'm doing right now in terms of making waves in my space. I can't wait to dig into this furthermore with you. It was one of those moments where I saw him and felt him immediately shift. And it's a moment that brings you to this realization. You ready for it? Somebody else is solving the same problem as you right now, only they're thinking 1,000 times bigger than you are. Like, this is the inconvenient truth. This also happened with friends and clients of ours that own a gym and they have built a great fitness app and they were asking me for advice on it. And I said, honestly, you're going down the wrong direction. Here's what we could do with AI. And they had the moment like, oh, I had no idea this was going on out here. Right. And now they're pivoting to something where they're thinking in the millions of people, not in the hundreds of people. And again, this is another example of somebody else is solving the same problem as you, only thinking 1,000 times bigger. And when you have this popping moment, you can't unsee it. You can't look back. You can't change what you think is possible. Lori, you had one of these.
So you and I were on a walk talking about this, and we coined it, and people say this in other terms, but this is exposure therapy to your dreams. And a lot of you are not getting the exposure therapy that you need because maybe you're not even knowing what podcasts to listen to. Maybe you're not going into the rooms with the people who are in these other rooms. Like, what's so cool is right now Chris is so like saturated deeply into the technology space that you're consistently coming home going, you're never going to believe what's coming next. You're never going to believe what's out there.
And not just technology, like that's helping. Being able to, make some of those recommendations, what I'm seeing out there to a lot of our friends and clients. But even just, I spend so much time now with billionaires and so much time now with like people who are about to become, maybe they have 5, 6, 7, 8, $900 million. Like,
Your mentor's a billionaire.
right. So these are people that once they explain or show you what everyone's really doing, you can't unsee it. And then bringing that message back to people and saying, look what's going on out there. They're solving the same problems as you, only they're thinking 1,000 times bigger. You can't unsee it. You're changed forever in that moment.
So this happened to me when I first started my online fitness membership. Mind you, I thought that having my own gym was thinking bigger, like my own small training studio. I was like, that is next level for me. That's what I saw in the Midwest. Like, if you were going to be successful in the fitness space, it meant having your own gym. I wasn't even thinking about having multiple gyms. I wasn't even thinking of franchising it. I wasn't thinking of having multiple studios because I didn't see that anywhere. Like, I didn't understand what that was. And so later on, when I was working with my fitness coach, when I started doing fitness competitions, she had an online membership. And I was like, well, this is amazing because you do this for the fitness competition space. I don't want to do that for fitness girls at all. Like, if fitness girls come to me, I'm going to trade them off to you. I want to do it for the everyday woman at home who wants to work out with me at my gym, but can't make it in or lives in Virginia. And I want to work out with her and I want to show her exactly what I'm doing. Like, why shouldn't she have access to the workouts I have and know what I'm eating every single day? And so I started that program and I was thinking it'd be awesome to have hundreds of people on it, like my fitness coach had on hers. And I ended up going to lunch with this woman who found me online and was like, hey, I'm in a similar space. I'd love to connect with you. I think we have a lot in common. Let's go grab some food. So she came in to visit. We went to True Foods, had an amazing lunch together. And she started telling me about her program and how they were online and getting hundreds of thousands of people into their challenges and thousands of people into her program. I
Over
think she had
20,000
people
subscribers every month on her program.
program. And I was like, wait a minute, what did you just say? And how are you doing this? And so then she help me understand that model. We actually sent your brother,
Yep, to go
Nick,
learn from
out to
them.
go learn from them. And that got us up to, I think we were like sitting at like 25 to 2,600 subscribers monthly. You guys, that's insane. Like, that's incredible. And I would have never even thought to get into the thousands if it wasn't for her, like showing me what was possible.
That was that exact moment where you were thinking in the hundreds. You saw somebody that was doing in the thousands, meaning in terms of
Mhm.
subscribers for your fitness program. And you're like, okay, wait, I just shifted my sights. And it took that one lunch and then that one moment where you couldn't unsee it anymore. And that moment went on to make us millions and millions and millions of dollars through your online fitness program before everyone in the world had them.
Yep.
Right? Like that thing changed our life because of that moment where I'm going to go back to what I keep saying. Somebody else was solving the same problem as you, only thinking 1,000 times bigger. And so these are the moments that change your life forever, which then changes your business forever, which then changes your family tree forever. And right now, you're probably having one of a couple moments as you're listening. You're probably saying, oh, but not me. Like that's other people. Or you're having a moment where you're like, okay, I get it. Like I know what my problem is. I realize somebody else is out there solving it 1,000 times bigger, but I don't know what to do. Right. And so there's a few things that you have to make sure that you proactively go out and learn. And that is, what are all of the technology options in your space? When was the last time you really sat and went down the rabbit hole to look at all the different ways that people are solving the same problem as you? I don't care if it's workouts, I don't care if it's, how to eat, I don't care if it's clothing, I don't care if it's, you're an attorney, whatever it is. When's the last time that you took a look at all of the different technology and AI options that people are using right now? And I don't mean glanced. I mean really studied. What are people doing in my space
Mhm.
using technology? When is the last time that you went and looked at all of the people solutions? What I mean by people solutions, hiring at mass and leading at mass and acquiring. There's companies out there that they'll acquire another company just for their people and not the customers, the people, literally like the employees. And now they have all of the expertise and they're automatically larger. So there's people solutions that you're not considering. Here's one where most people get stuck: financing options.
Mm.
You might be like, Chris, I know what I want to do. I know how big I want to do it. There's all these things I want to do, but I could never afford it, or I don't have the money to do that. You don't realize there are so many financing options. What I mean by financing options, I mean different types of investors, different types of leverage, different types of business loans, different types of silent partners, different types of pre-sales. There are so many financial options out there that cannot and should not be your excuse, but you don't know until you're exposed. And there's an adage out there that I want to share with you, and it's this. You've heard it before.
I'm so excited to share this. You guys know I never shy away from big, scary leaps, those super messy, what the heck am I doing moments. And This is Small Business just kicked off a new season, and it's all about risk. You know, I'm obsessed with this topic because that's what it takes. The host, Andrea Marquez, takes us behind the scenes with fearless founders who turn their maybe later ideas into heck yes, let's go adventures. These episodes have it all. They have raw stories of grit, honest advice, and so much inspiration. I got full body goosebumps listening. I was nodding along thinking this is exactly the kind of fuel we all need when chasing our big dreams. So if you need that extra push to go after your own hell yes vision, you have to check this out. Go follow This is Small Business on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. I can't wait for you to hear it. The hardest part about starting a business is often getting started. Build your business in just 10 clicks in 10 minutes. Starting your business should be simple. Get more when you start your business with Northwest Registered Agent. Your entire business identity in just 10 clicks and 10 minutes. Northwest Registered Agent has been helping businesses launch and grow for nearly 30 years. If you want to build your business while keeping your personal information secure, Northwest is the partner you need. In just 10 clicks and 10 minutes, they'll form your business, create a custom website, and set up your local presence wherever you need it. Form your business for just $39 plus state fees, backed by real business experts with decades of experience. Protect your identity and keep your home address private by using Northwest's address on your information documents. Don't wait. Protect your privacy, build your brand, and set up your business in just 10 clicks in 10 minutes. Visit northwestregisteredagent.com/earn and start building something amazing. Get more with Northwest Registered Agent at northwestregisteredagent.com/earn.
You don't know what you don't know.
Mhm.
And so it's 50% not your fault. And it's 50% your fault for not going to look earlier. But once you've been put on notice that you need to go down the rabbit hole on these things and either meet someone who knows what's going on or do the research yourself, now you're 100% at fault. Does that make sense?
Mhm. Yeah, this has happened to me recently where we have some possibilities in Glossy where we could create some really incredible fast growth. And with fast growth brings potential running out of product
Inventory.
and needing to place really large orders. And really large orders in the product space is hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I was talking to this particular company that I was just chatting with and learning from, and they were saying, "Oh, well, nobody worries about that with us because we have so many partners for financing for product because we've been doing this for so many years." And I was like, "Oh my God." Like people don't even know what
That
is
exists.
available to them at all.
We've been sending wires.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's insane to think about, wow, there are people who, work in this so much or work with so many different people that they've been able to create like these deals for people to be able to finance through these other companies, which is like I had zero idea that things like this were
Yeah,
accessible.
inventory financing. It's simple, right? Like when you're working with somebody that says, "Hey, don't worry, we're doing the marketing and we vouch for them," then they simply say, "Great, we're going to give you this much for your inventory. We're going to take a little rip as the money comes back in." They love it because it's guaranteed profit for them. And if you're a business that keeps having to buy hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars of inventory over and over and over again because you're growing so quickly, that means that you're buying the inventory before you're collecting the money, right? Because of the manufacturing cycle. Then that's an awesome win-win for everybody. But until you come across these individuals, you're like, how am I going to keep fulfilling these orders? I'm glad that I'm growing. I'm glad that things are going so well. But growing in sales isn't always a good thing. It brings other challenges and you don't understand. And then you hold yourself back, right? You're like, oh, wait, I don't want to grow as fast because I might have to send her a $500,000 wire and we got to wait till a little revenue comes in, kind of a thing. You don't realize that there's all these options out there. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. And that's the whole point. People are solving your problem right now, only they're doing it 1,000 times bigger. They're doing it 1,000 times faster. They're thinking 1,000 times more efficiently. And it wasn't your fault until we just told you in this moment, there's solutions for what you want to do. There's people solving the same problems with the same products as you are right now, only thousands of times bigger.
And they're not smarter than you. They're literally not smarter than you. Some of them might have access right now to a different network than you have. But some of these people that I have met, you guys, I have interviewed so many people now. I've done over 1,400 episodes. I don't even know how many interviews that is. I can tell you that they didn't think they were smart enough either, or maybe they didn't have the network and they created it and they worked overtime on figuring it out. You just figure it out. You commit to it and you figure it out.
And the shortcut is other people telling you what's possible. So listen, if you want that shortcut, coming to our home is one of those very places where these kind of conversations happen. It's not just those 2 days in person. It's when we get to know you and your business and we start to develop a relationship. And then one of our friends is like, "Oh, I've got a solution for something." I'm like, "Oh, that's what Carrie needs. Oh, that's what Jim needs." Right. And then we connect you. Like this is called planting the seed. You'll get crop for sure right away being here, but then you're also planting seeds that turn into a crop down the road. It's the beginning of awesome relationships from the people that come. Don't miss this opportunity. Couple spots left. Go to chrisharder.me/weekend. Grab one of the last spots at our VIP Mastermind weekend at our home in Newport Beach, end of June. This is going to be awesome.
You guys, we're so grateful for you. We hope we get to hang out with you. And if not, we'll get to hang out with you next week on the podcast. We'll see you then.
Thanks for listening.